arm day. We were gonna do 1,000 reps between curls and tricep extensions. Then I started doing the math and realized that would be a very bad idea for my elbows. It didn't sound that crazy in my mind to do 1,000 reps in a single workout, but then when you start realizing how many curls and tricep extensions you have to do, it's just as stupid. So today we're doing an arm day. I don't usually do strictly just arm days. I usually bleed it into one of my other 2 days of the week, so I like to train arms twice a week. But I am flying out to Texas tomorrow, so it's kind of like a deload. I'm cutting my week short. So I manipulated the program. We figured this would be a good way to put out a YouTube video of doing an arm day. I like training this way right before I jump on a flight, so I'm not super sore, joint hurting, or anything like that on the flight. So let's get into the first exercise. The first exercise is going to be similar to a preacher curl. I mean, it is a preacher curl. I'm just MacGyvering it to use other things for this because I don't have a preacher curl machine or a preacher curl setup. So what we're gonna do is use a incline bench for my arms to rest on, because a preacher curl is basically something that gives me support on my triceps so that my shoulders are in flexion, so they're in front of my body, and I'm doing a curl towards my face, essentially. Usually you have like a bench that you could sit on, and there's like a machine for this, but you can easily do this with a bench and a dumbbell curl, or I'm gonna use cables. And the reason I'm using cables first, because we're doing multiple arm exercises, is I tend to find that bands and cables, it's a resistance curve that doesn't really stop, so the whole time there's constant tension, right? It's a constant resistance curve. Whereas a dumbbell, at the top, it's not as heavy as the bottom, right? Because I get to the top, I can rest for a sec. But typically with resistance curves like this, it's just easier on the joint. So I'm gonna start the workout with joint-friendly things. Again, starting with preacher curls, then we're gonna move into dips, which is gonna be a shoulder extension. So now I'm doing shoulder flexion, followed by shoulder extension. And the goal today is to do an exercise for the triceps and the biceps in a shoulder flex position, a neutral position, and an extended position. So we're gonna be able to get through that as we go through these exercises. So let's get started on this. We're gonna go about 8 to 10 reps on this, and as many as I can with no added weight on the dips.
Broken promises, set me back down to earth, black down on the curb. Guess time heals all acceptance. Cut deep enough to leave me infected. I fell victim to all those intentions. Because of you, I can't make a connection. Everybody in question. Who you got around? Guess I loved you in denial. Shouldn't have left receipts. Now I got you on fire. Shit might get released when you walk down the aisle.
Gonna rest and keep these moving. This first superset, I'm going back and forth. I'm gonna keep it somewhat at a quick tempo because I'm not going as heavy. I'm leaving a few in the tank, simply because this is all I'm doing today. If this is my only arm exercise, I'm going to failure. But because I have another superset and another one afterwards, which means a lot more sets of arms, I wanna leave a few in the tank, keep my joints feeling good, get through it with a good pattern, focus on form more than anything.
Never name drop, you guilty if you assume it's you. From laying under covers to staying under your skin, I know exactly what it was, fuck what it is. Stay thinking out loud and think about how the vibe changed quicker than 1,000,000 miles an hour. I felt bad for whatever I said, but whatever's dead, I hope I see you never again. Could've been me in the suit, but you had your cake and you eat in it too. Fuck, you never thought you'd go back on your word. Broken promises, send me back down to earth.
Next, seated supinated dumbbell curls. So we went from a flexed shoulder position, still supinated grip. Now we're going neutral shoulder position with a supinated grip. I'm probably gonna rotate at the bottom a little bit. If you rotate your palm into a hammer grip or even pronated, you fully stretch that bicep at the bottom, which we know is important for muscle growth. So gonna start in like more of a neutral pronated grip, all the way up, keeping the shoulders in that neutral position instead of going into a flexed or extended position, because we'll do that next. Then we're gonna go to the cable machine and we're gonna do tricep pushdowns. With this, it's more of like an overload and a metabolic effect that I'm going for. So we're going 25 reps, so higher rep, heaviest load I can do for that amount. Really just crush on the triceps. And the last exercise, we're gonna place more of a stretch on the triceps, which I'll explain when we get to that superset, because after I've got a pump and I've really damaged the muscle, so to speak, and really overloaded it, then I'm gonna go into a stretch-based movement, which is key because that's actually been shown, the exercise I'm gonna show you has been shown to be more helpful for growth than any other exercise for the triceps. So, let's get to the curls.
I remember, I don't forget, bitch, I'm everywhere in town. Think about the ways to get my bread up. Tryna see the chain with Rosetta. I got no resentment, no vendetta. Yeah, she told me up because I let her. Bet I eat that bar like it's a setup. Pussy dripping down, I know stilettos. I don't want the silence. I've been overseas, looking honest. Then again at me, choosing violence. Yeah, keep it on the low. You know that's the code. Okay, baby, that's the code. You already know. Got a bad
Last superset, we got behind the back cable curls. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually letting my arms go all the way back. Again, I might rotate a little bit. Oftentimes I try to switch my grip throughout each exercise. So I might go supinated, neutral, and then even pronated at times. Today we're basically sticking with neutral and pronated, alternating back and forth, but we're going into a big stretch position here. So now I'm going shoulders extended, basically reversed the order that we did with the triceps because we started with extension of the shoulders on that one. Now we're going shoulder extension for the biceps, which is gonna put our bicep in the fully stretched position. Again, one of the most important positions to put any muscle for growth. Then we're going to dumbbell skull crushers, which puts the tricep in that position, which is funny because that's actually a shoulder flexion movement. So any overhead extension, if we're going behind our back up, if we're going straight over the forehead, if we're doing skull crushers with easy bar, dumbbell, anything like that, we're going into a shoulder flexion position. And if we roll forward, which I'm gonna let the dumbbells go up a bit, I'm gonna stretch that tricep even more, which has been shown in research, actually pretty recent research within the last couple years, to be more effective than any other push down variation because of that stretch-based movement, which we later found out because more research came out on other muscles. But point being, we got 2 exercises back to back. I'm going to failure on these because this is my last superset of the day to wrap things up. And we're gonna go in the stretch-based movement for both of these.
I hate all that fake shit on the surface in my soul. I can feel my heart be racing, I'm just trying to cope. You know that I'm faded when I really do the most, yeah. Bitch, you got me jaded if I turn into a ghost. Everybody talking like they made it to the top, yeah. Knowing when I get there, they just wanna be like me. You'll be disappointed when you know I'll never stop, yeah. Thinking you should mind your business, turn around and leave. I remember, I don't forget, bitch, I'm everywhere in town. Thinking about the ways to get my bird up. Trying to see the chain with Rosetta. I got no resentment, no vendetta. New thing up the street from Kendall Jenner. Kuma's on a cap and on a sweater. You think that you know me, but you never.
Ooh. 18 total sets. 9 for bicep, 9 for tricep, 3 different supersets throughout that, all in the 10 to 20 rep range. So we had a total of 400 reps. We'll put all the exercises up here so you can see them all put together. So you can use this. This is a good workout when you just want to get a gnarly pump, you want to isolate a muscle, and maybe, like me, you're jumping on a plane, so you don't want to be sore everywhere else. If you're doing a specialization phase and you want to have an arm day, this is great for it too. But remember the joint positions, remember the way I'm stretching and shortening the muscle. These science-based tips are the key to getting better results. So steal what we're putting out and put it into your workouts, put it in your program, you're gonna get better results. All right guys, thank you for watching this. If you liked the video, hit the like button right now. Comment below if you have any other questions for me personally. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you see every single training session we put up. And until next time, I'll see you then.